Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be doing a top 10 of the best power forwards in NBA 2K26 MyTEAM right now. Again, not including hidden gems, not including wild gems. Just because if I included wild gems, that's what the whole tier list would, or top 10 would mostly look like. I will be starting on Saturday, I believe, top 10 wild gems players at each position. I'm going to do a top 10 run through of those just to hopefully give y'all a good picture of the types of guys I'd be targeting at the wild gems cards at each position. But that I didn't want to have them like fully inundate all of these top 10s, so that's why I did this separate. With that being said, at the number 10 spot on this list today is going to be Julius Randle. This card offensively is pretty good. I mean, 79 three ball isn't crazy, but his jumper's not bad. He's very athletic. 81 speed isn't bad. Problem that I have is, yes, he's got some defensive golds in certain terms like brick wall, pogo stick, post lockdown, rebound chaser, but he's not a particularly strong defensive player. No block rating, only 6'8", not particularly quality on the perimeter or the interior in terms of overall eliteness, but not like the worst ever, I guess. I would say the power forward position is actually one of the better overall positions in terms of just having at least solid options throughout this list. I honestly don't hate it, to be totally honest. I think Randle at number 10 is like probably the best. He might be the best card at number 10 on any of these positional tier lists that we've done so far. So I guess that's saying something. Number 9 is going to be Candace Parker. This Candace Parker card would be so good if she wasn't a 6'4" power forward. If she was like 6'9", 6'8", this card would be a monster. 89 speed, 86 three ball, 80 driving dunk, 95 interior, 93 perimeter, 91 block, 80 driving dunk for a WNBA card. Like, Candace Parker could dunk in real life, and this card has great badges, great stats, I mean, this card looks really, really, really good on paper, but 6'4" at power forward is like 5 or 6 inches too short. At least 4 inches too short, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, that's going to cause issues. I just don't, I have a hard time seeing how it doesn't, is the honest truth. And so for me, even with all the good about that card, I personally wouldn't even be able to realistically probably consider putting her at my power forward position, even this early in the year. I found the likelihood of her actually being a really good card pretty low, to be totally honest. Next up is going to be Kevin Durant. KD does not give you a ton of defense at the 4, and he's also not a great rebounder, not super physical. Like, he's not a great card on paper. He does have good shooting and good speed with 82 perimeter, but no real interior, has no defensive badges. The reason that he's this high on this list is because he's 6'10" with a very good jump shot, and he's just a great offensive card. He's very confident as a shooter. He's just overall a really good option for sure. And I would say probably, I don't know, despite the lack of defensive badges, I think I'd rather have this card on the court than I would have somebody like a Candace Parker with a lot better badges, but worse size by a significant margin. To me, I think this is actually a pretty fair placement. PJ Brown's going to be my number 7. This card's also really nice. Low 3-ball rating and not super fast, but 76 speed, 67 3-ball. It's like, it's enough when you have this good of defense and super solid finishing. He's a big physical power forward. He's going to be really good on the interior. He's not going to space the floor at a ridiculous level, although I do actually think his jumper is pretty good. He's not going to be one of those guys who's generally a really, really good floor spacer, but he is one of those guys who is a very, very good inside big who at least can hit a wide open 3, and I think is overall a pretty darn solid card. Probably better at the center position than he is at the power forward position, but I wouldn't completely hate using him at the power forward position at this point in the year either, even with that low 3-ball rating, because I find his jumper pretty easy to green. I find that 67 3-ball is high enough to green with consistency. Low 3-balls aren't as easy this year, but I think 67 is high enough to where I would say it's pretty greenable. I like this PJ Brown. I don't think he's bad, and I got him at number 7. Number 6 is going to be Demarcus Cousins. Boogie Cousins is just, I mean, the problem with Boogie Cousins is he's 73 ball or 70 speed, and his jumper's not that great. Defensively, he's pretty good. He's very, very athletic and really dominant on the interior as a finisher. Jumper's not insane, but 83 ball, and I mean, he'll hit open if you find the jumper and get used to it. The jump shot, it's not terrible. Like, you definitely will hit it open and find it be a pretty decent jumper. I obviously wish he was faster, but the finishing is really good. The defense is solid. I actually think PJ Brown's a lot better defensively than Demarcus Cousins is, but Boogie does give you more offensive versatility overall. If you wanted to switch those two, I would not be mad at you for saying that, though. I will say, like, I think as a whole, this card is still very, very good, but I think you could could easily switch the two if you wanted to. It just depends on what you value, I guess, and what you don't overall. But to me, that's my thought anyway. Next up, we have, who is my number 5? I literally can't even read my list. Oh, there we go. Derrick McKey. That's who it is. Derrick McKey at number 5, 6'10", small forward, power forward. He's just a shooter and a defender. That's all he is. But 84 interior. I know that perimeter isn't insane, or sorry, 80 interior, 88 perimeter, 80 steal. Like, again, half movable, half on ball minutes, bunch of gold badges. 84 3 ball, 81 speed, 80 driving dunk, good jump shot. Again, it's the role that you need him to play, I feel like. And I think he plays it at a very, very solidly high level. I think as a whole, this is a very good card who provides a lot of what people need and can definitely compete at a really high level at the power forward position because he's got enough size, he's got good shooting ability, he's got that defensive versatility as well with good stats and good badges to be a really good card. One of the very best lock-in players, and I'd say he is the best lock-in power forward from the Series 1 set. Oh, I just realized I forgot a power forward. Julius Randle's getting moved to 11th because I just realized I forgot somebody. We're gonna have to fill this list in a little bit more actually because there's one other player who does need to be placed on this list, probably in the number 3 spot, but we're gonna get to him. Pascal Siakam is gonna be my number 5. Siakam's only 6'8". That's his biggest issue because I mean 6'8", 7'3" wingspan. Stats are nice and well rounded. He's not slow. He's a good shooter. His jumper's fine. I would say overall he's a really good card. He's just 6'8". That's really the only like concern for me. He doesn't move great, but he does have a nice jumper that I actually kind of do like. And I think defensively he's really, really solid. He's just a well-rounded card. I'm a fan of Siakam. I like the role he plays at the power forward position. He's coming off my bench right now, and I like the card, man. I definitely think he is a very good option. Number 4 is going to be Obi Toppin. This Obi Toppin card is really good. Like really, really good. He is worth using, I would say, to the point where I think he might actually be better than Siakam. His jumper's money. He's 84 3 ball, 95 standing and driving, and still solid defensively. Not quite as good as Siakam is in the defensive end of the court. Not quite as many total badges either, but a jumper that I would argue might be faster. Much better finishing. He's a couple speed faster. He's an inch taller, and while the defense isn't quite as good, I really like this card offensively, and I don't think he is bad defensively at all either, and I think the high vert and stuff like that absolutely helps him out as well. So I really like this Obi Toppin card, and I actually do think it's completely reasonable to say that he's actually better than Pascal Siakam is. As crazy as that might sound to say, I really like Obi Toppin. He's one of the best budget cards in the game right now. Number 3 is going to be Serge Ibaka. Unfortunately, this Ibaka card is not really particularly attainable. He's a very good card. He's a tiny bit slow, but good shooter, super athletic, great defender, and not too slow by any means at this point in the year. The problem with Ibaka is you have to lock in a lot of MT to even have a chance to get this card. 6'10" with 7'4" wingspan, with a not unbelievable jumper and not incredible speed and no great sigs. While I do think he's a very good card, his defense is super valuable and his jumper's not bad and everything, I do think he's solid. At the same time, I also don't think he's that insane. Like, I think with the jumper he's got, it's just not worth spending that much MT to lock him in, you know what I mean? It's a lot of MT to spend on one card. It just is. And so for right now, I would probably recommend against that. Moving on to that number 2 spot, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is, I would think, also, I mean, the problem with Giannis, honestly, is he's just not that good of a shooter. Everything else is insane. He's awesome defensively, awesome as a finisher, has some of the glitchiest animations in the game, is one of the faster power forwards in the game, but he's got a 65 3 ball. And so with a jumper that's not that insane, he's just not a huge threat from the 3-point line unless he's wide open. Now, 65, I feel like is kind of that threshold to hit with decent consistency this year. I feel like I could shoot with relative consistency on a wide open 3-ball with Giannis, but his jumper is not great, and I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat this card and act like he's the best power forward in the game, because I don't think he is. With the jumper he's got, as good as the card is, that's not something that I personally would say. So for me, Giannis is actually at number 2, but number 1 is Kevin Garnett. This card is easily the best power forward in the game. He is Giannis with +6 speed, +24 3-ball, extremely athletic, extremely dominant defensively, tons of badges. But this is basically a better shooting, better at everything Giannis, pretty much. Jumper's still not going to be great, movement's still not going to be great, but 94 speed at power forward with this defense and the ability to shoot is broken at this point in the year. This card is crazy. KG is easily the number 1 power forward in the game. not even debatable, and he just kind of runs away with it, to be totally honest. It's kind of by far that he's the best power forward in my team right now. So with that being said, this is my top 10 right now. Let me know what y'all think. I guess this is my top 11. Let me know what y'all think of this list in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.